Right, welcome to Mendix Malt. So Mendix Malt is a YouTube channel dedicated to Mendix, where we talk about Mendix over some beer. It's sponsored by Comotion. And speaking about Comotion, I have Tim Very with me, and Tim is the MD of Comotion. So welcome, Tim.
Thank you.
All right, so we're going to be talking about how you dominate your market. So if you are a Mendix partner, or if you're a Mendix engineer and you have this idea for app, and you want to take this app and really maximize the market, really make it something awesome, then we're going to be talking about 4 ways you can achieve that. And this is the episode for you. But before we do that, it is Mendix Malt, so we're going to go get some beer and we'll be right back. Let's go. Right, cool. So I'm going to hand over to Tim. Tim, take us through those 4 parts, those 4 aspects of maximizing your business.
All right. Firstly, cheers. Is that beer empty already?
It's gone, man.
All right. So what we're talking about today is taken from Peter Thiel's book, 0 to 1, which is really, if you're starting a business, if you're thinking about a startup, if you're thinking about a new business model, you really have to read this book. Now, one of the things he talks about is the characteristics of a dominant business model. Something that really does last in whatever market you're playing in, and something that can really carve out a competitive advantage for a longer period. Now, there's 4 things that he speaks about. The first is proprietary technology. Now, when you're thinking about building your Mendix startup or something based on Mendix, you've got to think about what am I building that is difficult to replicate, that other people can't maybe do so easily, and that is 10 times better than what is available on the market. Now, an example of this was obviously Amazon. When they first launched, Amazon had 10 times as many books on their platform than the nearest bookstore, because obviously they didn't need to keep all the books in a physical store. So that's a great example of something that was 10 times better. The second trait of a dominant business model is network effects. Now, network effects describe the effect of, as you add more customers to your product, the product gets more valuable. Now, we all know that we're talking about Facebook, right? So if you try and build on Mendix, the competitor to Facebook today, you're going to get one user logging on, they're going to realize no one else is there.
It's just you and your family.
It's just you and your mother are going to be on that platform. And it's going to be dead boring to use, even if the functionality is better than Facebook.
Yeah.
The network isn't there. So Facebook is a great example of network effects. Now you have to think about that when you're launching a new business. If you can foster a network effect, you create a business model that's very difficult to replicate. And the way that you start off by doing that is by focusing on a small niche network. So Facebook, when they started in college campuses, on individual college campuses, on a smaller network than, say, the world, and established their business there, and then obviously, the rest is history. But network effects are very important. The third are economies of scale. Now, economies of scale just describe the thing that as you get bigger as a business, your unit cost of servicing one customer or selling one product reduces. Now, software companies are a good example of that. So you build your software once for multiple customers. So you spend your engineering once. You have to spend your overheads once effectively for multiple customers. Another good example is obviously car companies. You design one car, and if you sell that car 1 million times, you don't have to spend 1 million times the engineering costs for that car. So it's very important when you're thinking about your business model, as you grow, you must try and see how you will bring down the unit cost of selling that product, and bake it into your business model from the start. The last is branding. Right now, brand is your website and your logo. Right? No, it's more than that. Right? A brand is, what promise are you making to the market, to your consumers? And secondly, very importantly, can you deliver on that promise? Now, we all know when everyone says brand, we think about one company, which is Apple, right? Apple has managed somehow, now I should be careful here because I realize that some of you may be Apple fans. Apple has managed somehow to create a business where committed consumers will pay a premium for the quality that they offer.
Yeah.
And that's really in their brand promise as well as their ability to deliver that brand promise. And I think the latest release of the M1 chip and all those kinds of things really show that they are able to deliver on the promise of creating fundamentally better technology or more or higher quality technology sustainably. And that all speaks to the Apple brand.
Yeah, cool. So you might be wondering, why are we talking about this on Mendix Malt? Well, I think firstly, the proprietary technology appeals to Mendix Malt, and Mendix has made a few things easier for startups in just recent times. Obviously, you've got unlimited users on the sandbox, they got the startup program, so it's really time to start thinking how you can start using Mendix to reach to start something out and be a creator and be a developer that has an app on the market and hustles a bit or gets something there. So I hope this was valuable. I think if you just remember those 4 things, right? The 4 things are proprietary technology, that's Mendix. We've got network effects, we've got branding, and we've got, what's the last one? Economies of scale. So if you can remember those 4 things, then hopefully you've got a good head start into really dominating your market and going for it. So I hope it works out. I hope you are successful. Let us know, man. Let us know when you get something right. We'd love to hear about it, and you can come share a beer with us. Mine's done, so this is urgent times. We're going to have to get out of here. Until next time, thanks. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cool. Thank you.
That was pretty, I think that's pretty, I think you got it in the can, man.